Is it live? Let me see. What's up, Giants fans? Can you guys hear me? Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers. It's Kush back at it again with another episode of the Just Chillin podcast. Call in show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We already got Levance in here. What up, Vance? How you doing, man? Jaden the champ, Edward Chan, Bark Nasty, Football Talk with Benny, Yuvraj, Harrison in here as well. What's up, bros? How y'all doing? Thank you guys for tuning in mad early. We got Mike Nixon in the back as well. Waiting to tune in. How's everybody doing, man? Today was a relatively calm day, and then like towards the afternoon, training camp happened. So there's that. I almost forget. That's crazy, bro. Today was kind of calm for me, but I haven't really been on Twitter, and I just completely forgot that training camp started today. We have two unfortunate listings, I think, on the COVID list. Blake Martinez and Reggie Ragland, the two guys that were projected to be. Well, we all know Blake was going to be a starter, obviously. Reggie Ragland was possibly going to be a starter for the Giants. We don't know. That's the whole point of training camp, to see if he was, and he's on the list as well. All this means is that basically at most are going to be out for 10 days, which is quite a bit of time training camp wise, but that's time for guys like Tay Crowder, who you guys already know I'm very high on, to get additional practice, additional time on the field, and reps with the number one guys. You know what I mean? That's time for him to improve his game. Time for guys behind Tay Crowder to improve their game as well. So there is a positive to it, at least in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't on the Tay Crowder train, bro, hop on the Tay Crowder train, because it's gonna leave soon. Hopefully, I'm really hoping this man has a good second year. I got a lot of faith in him. I just do. I'm not sure why, but I have a feeling that he could potentially develop into a guy for us. Oh yeah, Reggie with the hamstring. Yes, yes, yes. You're right. My bad. Who was it that was on the COVID list then? Somebody was on the COVID list, weren't they? Or was it just? Am I just mistaking? They're out. I know somebody's out. Blake is on the COVID list, and then Reggie is on the I think it's a non-football injury list, right? Some for his hamstring. Speaking of hamstrings, bro, y'all know your hip abductors. I was working on my hip abductors today, and they're still sore. If anybody knows a good stretch, let me know, because I've been stretching all day, and it's not doing the job. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. But Reggie gonna be all right, man. The trainer's gonna get in there with him, and they gonna make him all right. And then, of course, this was literally like an hour ago. Xavier Howard officially requested a trade from the Dolphins. Not low key, high key, tweeted out as a joke. Dave Gettleman is gonna get ready, with a gif of Birdman rubbing his hands. Dave Gettleman is gonna get ready to fleece the Dolphins GM for Xavier Howard. I tweeted out as a joke, and I let it be known that it was a joke, because my own comment under it says, like, there's a joke. But I didn't realize so many Giants fans actually want Dave Gettleman to pursue Xavier Howard. I mean, I understand why. The guy's like quite possibly the best cornerback in the NFL, right? But once again, guys, can we focus on paying our own dudes first before we take in another guy who's like the whole reason they requested a trade is a contract? It's like the same thing with Chandler Jones a couple days ago. Whole reason Chandler requested a trade was because of the contract. Like, we got to focus on paying our own before we could focus on paying somebody else. You know what I mean? With that being said, though, let me get Mike Nixon on, and then I'll drop the link for the rest of y'all for the call on you guys to come in here and give me your thoughts. Oh, wow. As soon as I said that, Mike Nixon disappeared. I said what's up already, Harrison. But you got another one, bro. What's up, bro? How you doing? I guess I'm going to wait for Mike to pop back in, or any other member that wants to pop in. Let's see here. Might as well drop the link right now, because why not? There's not really anybody back here, so let's just drop it. And Mike is back in. What up, Mike? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, how? Training camp is here.
Yes, sir.
Training camp is here. I'm glad that Cadarius Toney's off that list, and I mean they're gonna ease him back, but it's still good.
Mm-hmm.
Still good. He isn't gonna miss any time, and yeah, it's I I feel I feel pretty confident this season that we're gonna win 10 games.
Oh, I thought you were about to continue. My bad.
uh,
So, all right.
yeah.
So, do we know anything that any other than the Joe Judge press conference? What I did get to watch, of course, as any Joe Judge press conference. If
Mhm.
you guys didn't watch it, go check it out. It's already up on the Giants channel. Other than that, other than the news about Blake and Reggie, other than Tony coming off the list, there's not much that happened. It was just the first day. I'm right there with you. I think we could be a 10-win team, but let's see how training camp plays out because it's gonna be an interesting one
Mhm.
because of all the battles, bro. Which
Yeah.
one are you looking forward to?
Uh, Still got to be Noname versus Aaron Robinson for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
What about the O line, bro?
and that, especially who's gonna win that left guard spot
From what we're hearing, it's not even
between
going to be a competition. I think what's his name, Lemieux is just going to move to the left, and they're going to move Hernandez to the right.
yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Shout out to Diggy in here as
Mhm.
well. He said, I'm looking forward to the battle between Miles Garrett and Andrew Thomas. That's going to be one of our joint practices with Cleveland, which I hope to an extent they're actually playing like as a real practice. I know they're going to be extremely careful not to injure anybody, but because of matchups like that, I definitely want them to go just a little bit faster pace. What about you?
Uh, yeah, I agree.
Hey,
I
Luann.
agree.
And anybody else in that Cleveland matchup, or even the Patriots matchup, who the other team we're doing the joint practices with, you want to look forward to?
Uh, Not really, but I'm interested in seeing Bradbury versus Odell.
Controversial question here. Is Odell even the number one in Cleveland? Wouldn't it be like Bradbury? Well, I mean, Lange Jarvis does operate in the slot a lot, so it's probably going to be Jarvis versus Darnay. So I guess it would be Odell versus Bradbury, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and he's not going to be on the pup list. Odell,
This is the first time in how many years?
like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I saw a tweet about that he's actually healthy to start out training camp.
Hmm. But anyway, Hub, are you excited for the draft on Thursday?
The NBA draft, yes, I am. I still don't know anything about the prospects, but I'm definitely looking forward to it for the Knicks. Oh, we got two people
Hmm.
asking this question, by the way. What do we think of the Marvel collaboration with the Giants? I still don't know exactly what it is. I saw the Giants tweet out, like, basically like a comic book cover. Like, did they make a comic book together or something? What exactly is the collaboration?
I All I seen was the cover,
Yeah.
but from the cover it looks dope.
Hey, the cover looks amazing. I just don't know what it is. Was it just like an art piece they made? Did they make like an actual comic book or something? Can anybody enlighten me on that? And shout out to Tudo for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it, my guy. He says, salute my Goomba Kush. Drop by your office to turn on the lights and fill up your tea and slap all the Eagles fans on the way out, Pisano. Forget about it. Thank you for tuning in, Tudo. Thank you for taking care of the office. And of course, thank you for taking out the trash. But go ahead there, Mike. Yeah, does anybody else
Mhm.
know what it's about?
But anyway, Hub, I'm gonna let you go. I'm kind of tired.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
What you had going on today? Any coaching or something?
nah, I just had a bunch of doctor's appointments today.
Did they all go good?
Yeah.
I bet that's what we like to hear.
Hmm.
Then for sure, then
So,
Mike.
yeah, I'll be listening though.
Before you tune
I
out,
may
you
not.
asked me about the NBA draft. What about you?
Oh yeah, of course I'm excited for the NBA draft.
Anybody you looking
And
towards or not?
Chris Duarte from Oregon.
I saw a tweet
I
about him today
rather
where he was like he told the Knicks if they want to win now, draft him.
hmm
It's a
and
lot of confidence.
I seen his highlights and he's pretty good.
Hmm.
He can bring that defense. He can shoot, but
It is just
yeah,
highlights though, right? So hopefully he could do that consistently.
yeah, yeah. But
We'll see
anyway,
what the Knicks do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a feeling they might trade the 2 picks and try to go up into the earlier teens, but we'll see.
yeah. But anyway, peace out, bro.
Peace, Mike. Thank you for calling in, man.
No problem.
So next up, guys, we got football talk with Benny. It's been about like 4, maybe 5, even it's been a while since Benny's been on here. He had a busy summer. What up, man? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good, man. How was your like
Uh, Camp. I
eventful
went to
summer?
overnight camp,
Yeah.
so it was really good. Had lots of fun, but I'm gonna be back for this one, and then I'm gonna probably miss the next one because I'll be at another overnight camp, and then after that, I'm hoping to make a few for the rest of the summer, and then I'll be back, of course, like usual for the school
Isn't
year.
there
I'll
only
be
a
back.
month of summer left?
No. For me, I've basically been through like 5 weeks, and I have, let's think, I have like 4 or 5 weeks left. Yeah, so I
Mm-hmm.
guess I think a little bit more than a month left actually. But
Bet.
yeah, so I'm happy to be back. I just made my first video back today again. It
Bet.
was
What was it on?
it was on actually Blake Martinez getting COVID. I was at and Cadarius Toney getting taken off the COVID list or whatever. Um, and the funny part is I was actually like about to make another video, and like I think I just like came up with it and I was about to like start filming and stuff like that. And then right when it happened, I got the notification. I'm like, you know what? Gonna make a video on this because I'm like this will be perfect timing. Like I'll get this out right away. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just right away made a video on that, and it was pretty cool because it's almost like an instant reaction. I mean, I just turned on the camera and started talking about
So
it.
what
But
was your instant? Let's get it right now.
okay, well here's what I thought about it. I mean, I'm really happy that Tony's gonna be there because obviously he's missed a lot, and I think for a rookie, like it's important to have your, to get to know everything, and just to start to build chemistry because your first year with the team, it's your first year in the NFL. You got to start getting used to like game speed, and I know he would still get to play some in like training camp or whatever, but like I still think it's a big deal if you miss a lot of it. So I was really happy that he was able to
Did you
back.
see Judge's interview, press conference, whatever you want to call it
You have
afterwards?
one?
It
No,
was
I
like
didn't.
nine
What
minutes.
happened?
It was like 9 minutes.
I'll go watch it
You
after
know,
this.
it was it was basically just the reporters,
I
asking
think I
him
saw some
questions.
stuff about it, but
Yeah, one of the questions was on Tony, and he had a very Joe Judge esque answer, which is like we're working to get all our guys on the field. Kadarius Toney is a very hard worker, and
yeah, oh yeah, I
we're gonna
saw that. I
yeah,
did.
basically the Joe Judge, we're gonna see what happens when he gets there, stuff like that.
Yeah, but I was disappointed about Blake Martinez. Although, if I'm being honest, I think I would rather have Blake miss more of like what a training camp or whatever than Tony, because Blake's been here for a year. He's a he's like a veteran. But I don't know if you want to consider that at this point, but he's been in the league for a while. He knows the team very well. And he is a leader. We also get to try out that position a little more, which is kind of cool. Um, and see stuff about that. I mean, we'll look. I'm looking forward to see who wins, like Tay Crowder versus Reggie Ragland, who also got hurt today. I didn't see
Yeah,
that. That
hamstring.
happened after I made the video. But yeah. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Um, but what was I gonna talk about? Oh, by the way, if you want to know about the Marvel thing, basically what it is like, I'm pretty sure they released the cover thing today, but like it's gonna be like some comic. They made some comic, and you can get like an actual copy of it if you go to the Panthers game. If not, so it's gonna be like a special like comic. That'd be like really cool to get. But
Hmm.
I think it's gonna also be uh, I think you can also like see it online, like when it gets released on that Panthers game. I think you can see it online. I don't know. That's something.
Wait, why is it
But like that's
specifically
all.
the Panthers game? What's up with the Carolina
I don't know. I think
Panthers and Marvel?
The Panthers might be collabing with them also or whatever or like so. So I don't know.
Hmm.
I think that might have been it though.
Yeah, so shout out to
Um.
your Raj. He got some answers for us. He says, if you're a
Oh,
big Marvel fan and a Giants fan, I suggest going to the Carolina Panthers game where you will receive a limited edition Marvel and Giants comic book. You could only get it if you're going to the game. That's kind of sad. You could only get it if
that
you're going to the game.
that's so cool though. I kind of
That-
want to go to that game now. That's awesome. Cause like that's really gonna be rare. Like eventually one day, think about that. That's gonna be like, oh yeah, I
Bro,
have. It.
bro, it's already worth a good amount of money. Bro.
I know it's already
not
worth
even
a good
released.
amount.
It's already
know,
worth a good amount of money.
It's already worth a good amount. Think about it in like a while. Like it's just like, oh my god. Like I've had seen some stuff that's like, oh, like old like limited edition like Giants like special like things and stuff. And
Yo,
like
Connor,
I can't imagine
maybe.
that. That would
I'm maybe. I mean, the Panther logo is black and blue. Black Panther
yeah
is black
maybe
and like purple. So maybe.
maybe
I don't know. I
I
actually have
honestly have
no
no
idea.
clue
Isn't
why.
David Tepper like an investor or something? Maybe he invested in Marvel or something, man.
I have no clue. I mean I don't even know like I feel like if they were doing it because they were like Black Panther, why would they choose the Giants? You know, that's not what I.
Now
would
they
think
chose the
either.
Giants because the Giants are the best organization
I
in
know
football. Like
exactly,
that's
but like why
obviously
would
why
they
they
choose?
chose the Giants.
But why wouldn't they just choose like the next best organization? Because I don't think the Panthers are the
Who
next.
wants to go to the next best organization, Benny? What is even
Yeah,
the
I guess.
next best? The Packers is the next best organization. The 49ers? Probably.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I would say honestly, it would be.
Nate, listen, I know you want to talk about Loki a lot, bro. Just call in. I'll talk about Loki with you because, like I said earlier, I was planning on doing a stream about it anyway, and I've been looking for somebody to do it with. I really don't mind if you call in and we just talk about Loki.
Yeah,
From what it seems like, a good amount of the chat be watching it as well.
I
So
love Loki. I would watch it, but since I've been like away, I had to get caught up on all the episodes. So I still got to do that. But
I binged it
I
all
was
in one
loving
day,
it.
bro. I think it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever the finale came out. I binged it that day, and it was completely worth it. So worth it.
Have you seen that Black Widow movie yet?
I have. It's alright.
Really? Okay,
alright.
I haven't seen it yet. I still gotta watch.
You know
Have
what
you
I'm
seen
saying?
Space Jam also? Space Jam 2 or
Yeah,
whatever?
it's alright. Both of them are like
Both
alright.
of them are okay?
Yeah,
Not
both
good
of them
though?
are movies where it's like it's not good, but it's not bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I gotta watch those also, but
Ooh, this
trying
would
to think of
be.
some.
It would be pretty fire if the Giants put that comic cover on a T-shirt. That would be pretty fire.
Oh, that'd be fire. Yeah, I think the only other thing I think I saw about it was that season ticket holders got like the poster, like with that, but it's like a poster or something. But that's all I know.
Oh
Really
yeah, I
about it.
saw a tweet about somebody saying they were gonna frame their poster, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is that's I don't know. I like that Marvel thing. I don't know if Marvel's like ever done that with NFL team or anything.
I don't think so, bro. Listen,
But
I'm telling you, bro. It's because it's the Giants. That's why.
facts, yeah. But are you by the way, are you going to that what's it called? That
Fan Fest?
Fest? Yeah, are you going to that?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am. Are you?
No, I don't think I'm able to. I wish I
Ah,
was able to. I got back and I don't even think you can get tickets now, right? You can't.
I did a ticket giveaway last week.
Oh, I missed the ticket giveaway.
Yeah, I had
That's
two
too
extra
bad.
tickets and I did a giveaway. The winners were Miz and Calvin.
Oh, great. Is Calvin going? Isn't he from
He's an Arizona fan. I'm not sure where he's from, but he's an Arizona fan.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. I mean, he won the ticket. It's not like he
Yeah.
refused it, so I'm assuming he's going.
That's cool though. Do you know like what even is exactly the fan fest thing though? Like I'm confused.
It's literally, and it's funny. The Panthers are gonna come back up because the only other team I know that's doing it is the Carolina Panthers as well. It's literally just gonna be a live practice for the fans because nobody's gonna be allowed to go to
Yeah.
training camp, and then there's gonna be like entertainment and games there. It's just kind of a glorified live practice, but it's kind of also a welcoming party back to the fans because we haven't been allowed here for a year and a half. So
Yeah. That's kind of cool. I wish I could go. I'm sure a lot of people will be there. I think
there's
I
a lot
saw
of people. I
something
think
today.
it was like
where it's
40,000
like
tickets.
paint.
I think
Wow, that's crazy. I guess
so.
it's in
Almost
the
a full
stadium.
game of
Is it in
people.
the stadium or is it in like
It's. I think they're gonna have to hold it in the stadium. There's no way they're gonna do it at Quest
Yeah,
Diagnostics.
exactly.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is by the
What
stadium, but
games are you
seating.
going to this year? What like are you going
Week
to?
18. Week 18. So
Cool.
I mean,
gotta
I'm
see
sure.
if I can go to that
Yeah,
one.
I'm sure you've heard of it though. Like we're trying to get a little bit of meetup at Week 18. Shout out to Ash Money in here. He's gonna beat her as well. He's one of the founders of the Week 18 meetup. We already got a couple people going. Me, Diggy, Ash,
Oh,
Pest
bet.
is going.
I gotta go see if I can get.
Authentic said he's gonna go as well week 18. I know, like, in terms of fellow fans, there's like Joel is going.
Oh, nice.
Miz is gonna try to go. Oh yeah, KB is going as well. He's gonna pull up week 18. There's a good amount of people going.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can try to go do that. Go to that one because that'd be fun. It seems also a good game. Week 18.
CJ says you
And
kind of look like
could be.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay.
I don't see it, to be honest.
I have no clue how, but sure, I'll take it. Spider-Man's pretty cool, right?
He's pretty cool. At one point, he was like the most popular superhero in the world. So
Yeah, he was. Oh yeah, Jaden, I forgot about that. Him and CJ like played basketball together.
oh, they live
They
close
lived
together
in
or
like the
something.
same area or something like that.
That's kind of
And
cool.
they found like they just saw each other on the course or something like that, which is pretty
Did
cool.
Jaden get whooped?
I have no clue, honestly. All I
Oh,
know
you're
is that,
Rudge. Are you a season ticket holder or something? He says he's going to every home game except week 18. That's kind of sad, bro. Have fun on your trip, though, I guess.
yeah, it's too bad.
But that's pretty cool,
What
bro.
was the other thing? Have you been? By the way, did you watch like the Olympics? Have you been watching?
I haven't. I admit, bro, I haven't watched the Olympics. I don't know why. I just
Yeah.
listen, man. My two goats of the Olympics are not even in the Olympics, bro. Michael Phelps, aka Aquaman, and Usain Bolt,
Oh,
aka
yeah.
The Flash, retired, bro. So like,
He did?
there's no
Usain
reason.
Bolt?
Yeah, but both of them
I didn't.
are not in this year's Olympics. They're like as Olympic athletes. I think they're retired. So
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's crazy. But supposedly the basketball team did horrible or whatever. They lost to France, which is kind of crazy.
yeah, somebody literally just said that. The basketballs. I mean, they're
Yeah.
led by Kevin Durant. What do you expect, bro? Like, people think I'm legitimately hating when I say this, but Kevin Durant has yet to lead a team. He's a great scorer. He's possibly the greatest scorer of all time. 100% first ballot Hall of Famer. Going to be a top 10 player at the end of the day, but he's not a leader. He's
Yeah,
a
the
scorer.
next game's tomorrow. I'm gonna watch that. It should be a win, but I'm gonna watch it. It's kind of interesting. Like I'm used to like watching sports like either most of the time at night, maybe in the afternoon. But like the Olympics is on like different times. Like I think the game tomorrow's on at like 11:30 or something like that. Like it's gonna be kind of cool. I kind of like that because like I like waking.
Now CJ is just capping, Benny. Now he's just capping.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stop the cap.
I wonder what they're gonna do even about Black Panther because the actor died or whatever. Do you even know? Have you heard anything about that?
The plan is to move forward with the little sister, so we'll see how they do that. Yeah,
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think I heard something like in the comics she becomes a big character in one part, so they can kind of just go there. But I'm trying to think if there's any other things
let me know.
Isn't
We
there
got
much
Minty.
news?
Yeah, we got Minty up next. Shout out to Minty, Harrison Aaron, Bark Nasty, and then me and Nate gonna talk about Loki and presumably other Marvel things after all those
All
guys.
right. Well, I'll let the next people go. Thank you for having me on.
For sure, Benny. Have a good one, man.
All right. Peace.
Minty, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up?
Ooh, I could barely hear you. Speak again. Let me see something.
Hello?
Are you far away from your mic or something? Like your volume's kind of low.
I'm on an iPad right now. I think. Hold on. Can I come back on this stream on my computer in a second?
Okay, sure.
All right.
I'll pop you in after Harrison then.
All right. Cool.
And yo, every single stream, bro, as soon as I say Harrison's name, this man disappears from the back. Harrison, you don't need to apologize for it, by the way. This man apologizes profusely whenever I mention it. It's just kind of funny. You don't need to apologize, bro. I appreciate you calling in. So that being said, Bark Nasty's up. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what up, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you? Somebody says talk about Xavier Howard. So let's talk about Xavier Howard first before your questions, I guess.
I mean, that's not going to happen. Let's be real.
Yeah, I tweeted it as a joke, and I was actually surprised that people kind of want it to happen. I'm like, can we focus on paying our own guys first?
Fans get way too caught up in that stuff, man. The Chandler Jones stuff, too, was driving me crazy. I mean, it's just not realistic for where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen. I'd be surprised if it happens.
Peace out, your Verge.
What I really wanted to talk about, which a dude that's been sliding all off season, and I've been sitting back, been busy, been listening to everybody's content. Jason Garrett's getting a pass. I was the one hitting him up all towards the end of the season, and I just don't think enough Giants fans are talking about it going into this season. That is my biggest concern.
So you want us to get on him more, is what you're saying?
I mean, I just don't. I think it's a good thing to bring up. I don't think a lot of people are talking about it. I think it could potentially be a problem. I know we were limited.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to say he didn't have weapons. Barkley was out, so on and so forth. I'm concerned about Garrett's play calling.
So I'll say this. On my part, I stopped talking about Garrett because for the entire second half of the season, and then at the end of the season, I feel like I was beating a dead horse with saying how bad Jason Garrett was. I mean, I feel you bring up a great point. It should definitely still be talked about. Like, I feel like everybody is still worried about him. But it's like, what are we going to say that already hasn't been said? Like, yo, this man, he needs to take a step forward. Bro, there's like so many things on this offense that needs to go right. The offensive line needs to break right. Daniel needs to break right. And even Jason needs to break right. It's just like three big, incredible variables. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just worried. I feel like I really think the O-line is going to take a step up. We have a lot of weapons. A lot of pieces are going to come together, and I think Jones can do it. Obviously, I've always been on the DJ train. I just think Garrett could be almost more make or break than even DJ. I was not impressed, and a lot of people were giving, as much as people were talking about it, a lot of people were giving him a pass.
Define giving him a pass. Do you say giving him a pass as in they're kind of praising him now, or they're kind of making excuses for him, or just not talking about him?
A lot of, even towards the end of the offseason when people were bringing it up, you had a lot of people being like, oh, but we don't have Saquon, we don't have weapons, and I got that. But was anybody impressed with that play? I just don't know. It wasn't. I admit
I've said that a couple of times myself. I'm not even gonna cap. I've definitely said like I've definitely sort of kind of try to see Garrett's side of it in terms of saying, yeah, man, Saquon went out week 2. None of the wide receivers were getting separation. Like, I've definitely made the point that I feel like it was a collective effort to be the 31st overall offense in the league. Because anytime you're that low, it's always a collective effort, man. It's not just one person. But you're completely right. This man, Garrett, was legitimately calling worse plays than what you'd get suggested on Madden.
Yeah. He was on coach suggestion settings all year last year.
Exactly. He was on coach suggestion settings, and the suggestions were like he was going up against all pro defenses every single game or something, man.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just a little bit worried about that. Hopefully, because I feel like that could derail everything that we've got going in Jones. Because I mean, I'm confident in Jones. If I'm being honest, I watch all the other NFC's content creators too. And I'm sick of the Jones slander. I mean, the fact somebody would even compare Hurts to him.
Eagles fans, man. Only Eagles fans.
Goodness. Like, people really forget. And I tried to bring it up at the end of last year. And I will use those excuses for DJ, the O-line, no Saquon, the bad play calling. He shatters the rookie touchdown record if he plays 16 games in his rookie year. He shatters it. And I just, there's so much there with him. And I hope the O-line gets it figured out. I hope Garrett's play calling.
So what do you say to Connor, who brings up the point? He says, let's see what he could do with weapons. If you like DJ and use the excuse, you got to give the same one to Garrett, the weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see that. But I guess the play calling limited DJ as well, though, too. You know what I mean?
I agree with that as well. Because he definitely looked like he was I'm not sure what the correct way to say this is, but in his rookie year, he seemed like he was playing more on instinct or like more just by himself, which I feel like is part of the reason why he had such success. And then the second year, he seems like he was kind of just trapped with whatever Garrett was telling him to run.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm behind him, and we'll see what happens. And to be honest, if he's not the guy, we have the draft capital to make a move. And the owners, the GM, everybody, they've made it very clear that this team is win now. I really think the entire team's win now. I think the O-line's going to take a step up.
Whoa. So the fact that you said that, I got to ask you this. I said trading for Chandler Jones would be a win now move and that we're not a win now team. So if you say we're a win now team, what's your outlook on Chandler Jones?
I think we are a win now team. I just don't like that move. I don't like what potentially we would have to give up. I don't like that he's on the other side of 30. I don't really like to use that whole thing. Oh, let's see how he comes back from the injury. Oh, Barkley. I hate that stuff. ACLs, do your research. They're not that big of a.
I thought it was a
deal
bicep tear.
No, I just
Chandler
mean
had.
in general, like with injuries. I don't like to use that, so I'm not using that for Chandler Jones either. I'm not gonna say, who knows how he would return. I don't like the contract. I don't like the age he's at. I know he would be looking for us to potentially extend him. To get him, you're talking third plus.
It's the same thing, or potentially even more with Howard. Once again, Howard is just a lot bit better because he's way younger. And, you know what I'm saying? He's like arguably the top corner in the league. But then it's like, yo, do we need him? 1, 2, contract situation is the whole reason this man's requesting a trade. Let us pay our own players first. You know what I'm saying? And then 3, what we'd have to give up to get him.
Yeah, I would, and I think we might be going edge. We'll see how this year goes, but I have a feeling we might be going edge first round next year in the draft. So, I mean, we'll see. But no, that's why I said I do think the team is win now, but I don't like the Chandler Jones deal. I wouldn't be mad. Like, don't get it twisted. I wouldn't be mad, but you're talking a 2nd or 3rd round pick probably plus a Peppers, a Shepard, a Ingram. Something along those lines. I just wouldn't, especially if you're talking Peppers, I wouldn't be for that. So, but yeah, I think we're this organization's made it pretty obvious we're win now, and they're laying all the chips on DJ, and I'll be behind him. I think he's going to come out and do it, but hey, if he doesn't, we're ready to make that move. So we'll see what happens.
What are you seeing for DJ this season? Give me an arbitrary number, man.
I think I'm looking realistically. I'm looking for 30 and 10. I'd like to see 30 plus touchdowns.
I would love to see 30 plus, but like, do fans realize it's hard to get to 30 touchdowns, bro?
It is. I think only 12 maybe even did that last year, something along those lines. I think it's possible. I think our red zone efficiency is going to skyrocket this year, big time, with Galladay, with Rudolph, being able to pair Rudolph and Ingram. I think it's going to go way up. I think we're going to keep an already incredible defense out of, short field situations. I'm really, really high on this season, as most fans are. And that's why my first point that I brought up was Garrett. I'm concerned with him, and I'm concerned that play calling could hold us back, and maybe we won't see what we want to. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope he really was just reeling in the playbook because of the tough off season and the lack of weapons. But we're going to find out. I think we've got a better defense than Washington. I know everybody likes to hype them up. I won't argue that they have a better defensive line, but I don't think anybody could argue that overall we have a better defense. So, but we'll see. We'll see. That's why my family are Washington football team fans. I'll be at that game week 18.
You will?
So, yeah, I'm going week 18. Yeah, I already bought my tickets.
What section are you in?
I think I'm 315 is what I got, because I bought my whole family's tickets, so I couldn't go too wild. But yeah, I'm in 315.
Now we're definitely bro. Everybody as there is definitely going to meet up in the parking lot. Chill. Is it a 1 o'clock game or is it a 4 o'clock? It
is. Yeah.
So I guess I got to be there at 8 o'clock, bro. Like, simple as that.
Oh yeah.
I just got to be there at 8 o'clock.
I'm gonna be there. I got to fly up from Texas, so because I'm in the military, so I'm kind of stuck down here right now. But yeah, my family said they're Washington football team fans. They're
unfortunate. That's kind of unfortunate.
Hey, they're paying for the trip, and I bought the tickets, so I'll be there.
Wait, who got the better end of the deal then?
I don't know. It's pretty close because it's not too expensive to fly up to Jersey. So
okay, but I didn't know you're a military guy, man. Salute to you. Thank you for your service, bro.
No, hey, I appreciate it, man. Yep.
I didn't realize. I mean, there's you. There's Pest. There's Max, I didn't realize. Yeah, there's a couple dudes out here in the Giants community. I didn't realize were military guys. That's kind of cool.
Yep, 10 years now. So I'll be getting out here probably within the next.
Speaking of
year or
Max,
two,
look,
so.
he just tuned in. What up, Max? How you doing?
But yes, I will be there. So if everybody's gonna be linking up and doing something, I will for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna try and be there as early as I can. We about to just do something, man. Tailgate, eat. You know what I'm saying? Have fun. I'm actually gonna try and get there like super early because it's a 1 o'clock
same,
game,
yeah.
so we could just chill.
100%. And hopefully, man, something's on the line come week 18. I either hope something's on the line in that game or nothing's on the line because we're clear in first place.
I feel like no matter what division is gonna be on the line, I'm be honest with you.
I don't know. I got a bet with my stepdad right now that Fitzpatrick won't even make it past week 4.
So Heineke's gonna step in.
I think so.
Low-key, a lot of people do think Heineke is a better option.
Yeah, and I mean, he could win the job out of camp. So I don't know. I think that's a really weird situation. A lot of people are hyping them. Great defense, but I mean, Fitzpatrick, it's actually crazy to me. I know we all get hyped in the offseason, but how gassed Washington football
Washington fans have been wilding the entire.
Yeah.
First of all, shout out to Wildchild. I haven't seen him in a minute, but let's list off the things Washington fans have been low-key just getting out of pocket with. Hyping up Ryan Fitzpatrick. We all know he's Fitzmagic. People love to exaggerate it. He's not Fitzmagic half of the year. He's Fitzmagic for like 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, he's got 4
a
weeks.
year. All right, and then he's like Fitztragic for the rest of it. All right. Taylor Heineke, I admit, the man showed guts and he showed out in that one playoff game. And even, when he got a couple starts. Low-key, actually not even low-key. I think he might be a better option than Fitzpatrick just because of consistency and whatnot. But then I had to, battle some Washington fans on Twitter yesterday because one of them was saying William Jackson III is a better cornerback than James Bradbury. And I talked about that yesterday on stream as well. And I'm like, he might not even be the best cornerback on your team, bro. You guys are underrating your own man in Kendall Fuller. You know what I'm saying? After they re-signed Jonathan Allen, all of a sudden Leonard Williams is overpaid, even though he does way more than Allen. I mean, Washington fans, they win the division with a 7-win season and they forget how to act.
I'm telling you. It's mind-blowing, all of it. I'm saying I watch all these other content. I got buddies that are fans of these other NFC's teams. The Hurts, I mean, Philly, look, every NFC's team we're not getting 8 wins. I promise you. And I don't hear one fan claiming that their team's getting less than 8 wins. It's hilarious. Any Eagles fan that's telling me they're getting 8+ wins. I mean, come on. You are stuck in absolute delusion. I mean,
there is one team that's going to get 8 wins. Dallas is definitely going to get 8 wins.
Yeah, I hope that's all they get.
Dallas is always going to hover around that, man, for a while.
Even them, I'm sorry, I will bring it up, talking about how, they were, 1-3 with Dak. I don't care what records he was on pace to break, and we'll see how he comes back from the injury. Yeah, their offense is loaded, but they have an awful, awful defense. Can't even continue. Philly's defense is better than Dallas's, and I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I will say I think anybody that thinks it's going to be an easy division or that 7 wins is going to win it again, I think you're mistaken. I don't think that's going to.
Nah, I think the winner of this division is going to get right around 11 wins, probably.
Yeah, I think 11 or 10.
And I think it's going to be stacked right one after the other. I feel like first place is going to be 11, second place is going to be right there with 10 or something. Maybe third is at 8, and then the Eagles are going to be at like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think we could put 2 teams in the playoffs. I think a lot of people are hyping up the West, which they're going to beat up on each other as good as they are. That division, they're going to be handing each other losses.
That is kind of where I disagree with you. I do feel like we're probably only going to send 1 team to the playoffs.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, I don't care either way because we're winning the division. So. Hey, it's gonna be that simple. Washington will still be looking for a quarterback, wasting the primes of the players that they've got already. So, but we'll see. I'm excited. There's a couple of things I'm worried about, but We'll see. I got that preseason excitement just like
Yo, who did Washington draft again? I'm sorry, I already forgot. Who did they draft again
it
in the
was.
first round?
I
This
don't
year?
remember his name. It was that linebacker from Kentucky. I
Oh
think.
yeah, Jamin Davis, right? Yeah. And we'll see how he turns out. But I still think they should have taken their QB. There wasn't Kyle Trask still available? They should have taken that man. We'll see how it plays
I
out.
mean, they could have been in position to move up too. I mean, obviously, we wouldn't have made that move with them like we did with Chicago, but they could have made a move for Mac Jones if they wanted to. So that's when I'm talking to my family about that, all those Washington fans, it's just funny because they continue to go without a franchise quarterback, and they're as win now as they've been in 20 plus years, and they still are stuck with no answer at QB. So I mean, we'll see how it goes down. I can tell you one thing's for sure: we have to get off to a quick start because that first game that's in Washington. I'll be honest, I'm worried. If we don't come out and beat Denver week 1, we've got a quick turnaround into a road Thursday night game at Washington. And boy, I mean, if we start 0-2.
I'll tell you this. I mean, it was unpopular when I said it, but I do think we're taking a loss to Washington week 2.
I think we could. I think we definitely could. But if you were asking me, I would rather lose to Denver and beat Washington and start 1-1. Obviously, but
obviously, yeah, I would rather that too. But I think we're starting 1-1 with the other way around.
I hope not, but I could see it. I think either way, we've got to probably, if we don't start 2-1 or 3-1, I don't see us making the playoffs again. You hate to talk like that, but it's actually the cream puff part of our schedule is the first 8 weeks. It's the second half of the season where we start filling out with the rest of the division games, and it starts to get tougher. I feel like if we don't start at least 2-1 or 3-1, which obviously, I may be stating the obvious, but I think we could be in some trouble.
We got some optimistic fans. Levance and F-Star saying 2-0. Diggy saying 4-0. I mean, I love it.
And that's the other thing. I could see 4-0. Like, I really could.
We got the Falcons week 3, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah, that's honestly, we should win that game. That shouldn't be an L. And I forgot who we're facing week 4, but I could pull it up real quick. Let me pull it up. I mean, yeah, there's a chance we could go 4-0. There's definitely a chance. Let's see. Giants schedule. Wow, I brought up the San Francisco Giants. How nice. New York Giants. So after the Falcons, we have the Saints week 4. Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
I think we got to start 3-1.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see how it goes. Any last thoughts though, bro? Before I pop you out, Bobby Murphy in here, local Eagles fan, saying starting 0-4, of course.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Nah, man, that's it. I'll definitely be popping on more. I've been bouncing in and out of everybody's channel. I'm busy getting ready to separate and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll be at that game. I'll be watching, supporting. I appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. I'd love to see you there, bro. I'd love to meet a bunch of y'all at Week 18 if you guys can make it. That's gonna be lit, man. Have a good one, bro.
All right, man.
Next up, Harrison. Okay, then Harrison isn't right yet. So we'll get Minty on and then Nate. Oh wow, I added Nate by accident. What's up, bro? Minty, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on? Sorry about the audio issue earlier. I was calling in from my iPad.
Nah, bro, it's all good.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so I do have kind of an opinion change on Cadarius Toney now. It's not like the normal reason. I'm not like worried about distractions and stuff like that. But the more and more I've been thinking about Cadarius Toney, the more and more it's kind of
what's up, man?
I'm realizing like we drafted kind of possibly a gadget player in the first round, which is starting to kind of get to me. I don't hate the pick or anything.
Why do you say? Well, as of right now, maybe, but like, why don't you give him time to finish developing as a receiver?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not like a Toney hater. I'm not one of those guys. Oh, he's a distraction or whatever. But yeah, it's just not really kind of. I thought about it a little bit more. It's just not really my favorite pick anymore. I don't know why. It's just I don't see him getting a ton of snaps on the team. Long term, maybe, but I don't see anything too just other than he has some pretty cool routes and cool ankle breakers. But to be honest, it's just not my favorite pick for a first rounder. It's just kind of not really grown on me, but like, I don't
Well,
know.
imagine it this way, Minty. We got him in the second. We got Aziz in the first. How about you imagine it that way?
I mean, I guess that's fine too. I'm just saying, the more I'm kind of looking at it, the more I'm really, he's probably not going to get snaps this year. He will get some obviously, but he's probably not going to really be too productive. And I'm just kind of starting to say we'll see Toney, but I would like to see him a little bit more of a season. Hopefully he turns out well, but I'm not as optimistic.
I just want to know what gave you the mind change, because Toney is an extremely fast wide receiver that could, like, he could be potentially somebody that like just has a home run ability because of the way he runs. He has to still work on himself as a wide receiver because he only played that position for like 1 or 2 years. But that's what makes him so, the potential of him so great, because he's already really good without even being complete as a wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm just starting to think of him more as a gadget player, but I still like Toney. I still think he'll be decent. But I think his role will be gadget player, and I'm not too excited for that. I'm starting to think of him as maybe a Curtis Samuel type. But yeah, I'm still optimistic. At the same time, I'm just not as like rainbows and butterflies about it as I was earlier.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's just not my favorite pick. I still like it.
I'll say this though, even if he was, not like, say if we got somebody like, I don't know, Bateman in the first round, who's a little bit more of a polished wide receiver, I'm gonna say the same thing. He will have special teams roles, like what Miz is saying here. Whatever wide receiver would have drafted in the first round wasn't gonna see much time in the first year anyway, in my opinion, unless somebody slipped. They're gonna see a lot of special teams time. They're gonna see a lot of kind of the plays that a developing wide receiver gets, because we have our 3 guys as of right now. I think those 3 guys are gonna win out in training camp, and Toney's really gonna be a pick for next year, in my opinion. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
But once again, if for some reason it's getting down on you, just simply look at it as we got Aziz in the first round and we got Toney in the second.
Yeah, and I see Diggy in the chat. I definitely think I would. I don't know if I'd rather have Bateman, but I don't know. He'd probably fight for the outside wide receiver job. But I don't know if wide receiver was the pick in the first round. Again, you could think about it as Aziz in the first, Toney in the second. But yeah, it's not really. Earlier I used to think about it as A-, B+ pick, but I don't know. Now I'm just kind of seeing. I can understand how.
Don't forget, the Giants weren't the only team that wanted Toney. The Jaguars were trying to get him. I think there was another team in the 20s also that was hoping he would slip to them.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not worried about the COVID thing and all that. That's not really what's concerning. But again, I'm not really concerned necessarily. It's just like, now, giving it a little time, it's just definitely not my favorite pick in the world.
Mm-hmm. Hey, shout out to Joseph, man. How you doing, bro, in the chat? What about anything NFL-wise? Because, Xavier requested a trade, or you got more Giants questions since it was training camp today?
Xavier, let me think. I don't really have too much on Xavier. Can I talk about Chandler Jones for a minute?
Go ahead.
So, I don't necessarily know if the Giants are a win-now team, but Chandler Jones in 2019, he had 19 sacks. I'm not sure if that's a stat that a lot of Giants fans are aware of.
Oh, trust me, they are.
19 sacks is a ton. I mean,
what's crazy is I don't think he even led the NFL. Who led the NFL in 20? It was probably Aaron Donald.
Yeah, Donald.
I think that might have been the season he got like 20 and a half or something.
Yeah. But so here's the thing with Jones. I would honestly like. So now I'm not sure if this would do a deal or anything, but why not float out? Like, I would want the Giants to explore it, kind of float out some things. Like, why not float out Lorenzo Carter in a third or something? Something along.
Oh, well, they won't take that, though. I don't think that's enough to get a guy. Chandler Jones, not just in 2019 with the 19 sacks season. Minty, we're talking about one of the best edge rushers, best pass rushers of this past decade, consistently from like 2012 to 2019. You know what I'm saying? Lorenzo Carter in the 3rd round pick ain't getting that, even if he is on a 1-year deal and he's on the wrong side of 30. Also, what up, Zion? How you doing?
Yeah, he's 31. And just, I don't know. Would you do Lorenzo Carter in a 2nd round pick if they were to accept that?
Lorenzo. I mean, if they accept that, yes, I do it because it's one of those situations where it's like that's kind of a really good deal for me to ignore. But I'm still thinking, I'm like, we're gonna have him essentially on a 1 year rental, right? Because we're not re-signing him. He's gonna want too much money in the sense that we wouldn't be able to afford him with the other guys we have to sign,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it comes down to like, are you comfortable with a 1 year rental? Like, how far is Chandler Jones, in addition to this defense, really gonna take this team in the playoffs?
Yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
I agree. I don't think it's really I think it would bring the defense to a different level.
I mean, I think it solidifies the defense as top 5 for sure. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't get us like way farther than him not being there, it's like, what's the point? That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Now thinking about it, probably that he's only 1 more year. That's probably the most concerning thing in my opinion. But Chandler Jones, again, I think we should float out something out there. I don't know whether it's Lorenzo Carter, a third, a fifth, and I don't know, maybe some other young player that doesn't really get minutes. But I think we have a ton of assets. We have 2 third-round picks this year. This year, actually. So I think we have the assets to make something happen. And maybe if we could get someone like on a 2 or 3 year deal, I think that'd be nice. Offensive line, we need to trade for a guard. Especially if Shane Lemieux is not showing up in training camp. I'm definitely gonna try and trade for a guard if I'm Dave Gettleman. I think that's the biggest thing I really, really would want to.
Who do you have in mind?
A guard. To be honest, I don't have any like big names or anything. But Trey Turner, I mean, we had a chance to maybe go on and get him. I know he's not the best name, but I think he's an upgrade over Shane Lemieux. Shane Lemieux, he's just not my favorite guy.
The thing is, the team that just signed him ain't gonna trade him after they just signed him.
Yeah, I know. I was saying we had a chance when he was a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really see a ton of trades involving guards, but I'm just not confident in Shane Lemieux. But, I don't know, maybe in training camp he can kind of show off a little, but that's the biggest weakness. Shane Lemieux is probably the biggest weakness in the starting unit, in my opinion.
If you look at the way the coaching staff is kind of talking about him, you kind of believe that maybe it isn't Shane, it's kind of Will Hernandez. That's probably the weak link.
Really? I like Will. I mean,
I like Will as well. I listen, man, I like both of them. I don't not like any of them. I'm just kind of worried about them.
I really, really like Will. I don't know. I believe this is last year, but I really, really want Will to stay because he's somewhere around average in terms of guards, in my opinion, and pass blocking. And we drafted him in the second round. I just don't understand what would be the mindset not to keep him and then develop another 20-year-old on the offensive line in this upcoming drafter. We can't keep digging in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round for these guards and tackles. Maybe we'll hit one day, but you can't just give up Will Hernandez and then draft a 4th round guard and expect something to change. But I really, really want to bring back Will Hernandez.
Mm-hmm. I do as well. You were right. It is his last year. This is his last year on his rookie deal. It's a prove a year for a lot of players. A prove a year for Will. Prove a year for Garrett. Prove a year for DJ. Prove a year. I don't know. I guess you could consider a prove a year for Slay. I like Slayton. He's a good number 2. I don't really think he needs to prove anything. Not a prove a year for Jabril, but if he just absolutely shows out and shows the Giants, hey man, you got to re-sign me because I just had an amazing year, then I guess that as well. But there's a lot of players on here that are going to be trying to get that second contract from the Giants.
Yeah, definitely. I also just saw something.
Oh yeah, prove a year for Saquon as well. You're right about that. Howie Roseman in the chat. What's up, Howie? Can you do me a favor and like sign some random dude to like a 3-year, $55 million deal, bro? Trade Jalen Hurts for Chandler Jones right now, bro.
Well, so I also kind of want to show off. I got this like kind of like New York City lights thing for my background. Just want to pop that in real quick.
Hey, that's kind of cool.
It doesn't show the whole thing, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I just got that for my birthday recently, but yeah, I got that. That should be in the background now, but yeah. Also, I know you're talking NBA draft early, kind of last thing I want to talk about before I hop off. Do you have anybody in mind at 19 and 21 for the next?
I don't, bro. I've been saying I don't know the NBA draft like that, bro. I got nobody in mind.
All right, so I don't know if there's any like Knicks fans in the chat. I know you're a Knicks fan, but Trey Murphy, you got to watch out for. I know a lot of people like Sharif Cooper, but Trey Murphy, I would watch out for. Miles McBride, just a few names out there. But we could really, I'm not sure if we're going to end up like the Suns, where the Suns miss the playoffs and then they're in the finals all of a sudden. But I think we have the assets to make a jump similar to the Suns, where we're maybe not an Eastern Conference Finals team, but we can make a pretty nice jump just if we nail these draft picks. You know, a 3-and-D wing like Trey Murphy, Chris Duarte could turn out to a guy like Cameron Johnson. So I don't know. I think it's a possibility we make a jump like that.
That's a big jump, but the only thing I want the Knicks to do, honestly, is get a legitimate like scorer, or if not a legitimate scorer, somehow get a legitimate number one, because I think Julius would be a number two on a championship team. But for now, if we can't get that, get a legitimate third option, so that when Julius gets shut down and when RJ isn't hitting, that third option could hit.
Yeah, I like Spencer Dinwiddie and DeMar DeRozan this offseason for free agency.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. But, yeah, I just kind of want to cover those topics on the show. Thank you for having me on.
No problem, Minty. Shout out to Minty. He had me on his channel. I think it was like last week. Guys, go check that out. It was a Darnay Holmes video, I believe.
I did have to end up deleting that video. Like, I left it up for a day or two, but the tape was really laggy, so it kind of took away from the talking and stuff. But I left it up for a day or two just so a few people could see it, but I did have to take that one down.
All right, that's what's up, though. All right, Minty. Thank you for calling in, man. Have a good one, bro.
You too.
Next up, we're going to have Nate. Me and Nate going to talk Loki a little bit. I just want to say before I pop him on, that's like the third time I did something with a Giants creator, and then they were like, yeah, we had to delete it because of lag. I'm beginning to think I'm the problem. What up, Nate? How you doing, man?
What's up, Kush? As always, you are the problem. But
yeah.
But anyway, all right, you want to talk some football first, or you want to talk Loki first?
Let's talk some football so that like 20 people don't just randomly tune out. Shout out to the Philly Insider podcast. I think I've seen you in here before. Well, we got a couple Philly guys in here. We got Harry Roseman, got Bobby Murphy, and now the Philly Insider podcast. Hey, wait, he giving us respect though. He giving us respect. That's what's up. I respect it, bro. Thank you.
I'm suspicious immediately.
Right?
I'm immediately suspicious. There's something coming from this Philly Insider podcast. Immediately suspicious. Anyway, one thing I wanted to say, just in terms of the trade rumors regarding Xavier, regarding Chandler Jones, both those guys, I think Giants fans are sort of hitting that point that I hit with my fantasy teams every year, where you make a whole lot of great moves, you build up your roster, it's looking really good, and then you start hitting the point where you're trading yourself into a bad situation. Mm-hmm. That's where Giants fans are starting to head right now. Listen, y'all, we have built this team up really nicely. We have brought in a lot of good pieces. We had a hell of an offseason. Let's not hurt ourselves too bad here. We do not have any money to make these guys fit under the cap. Chandler Jones, like you talked about, is a one-year rental. Doesn't really make sense for us. And we don't need a corner at all. We just invested, let's just say, significant resources into securing that position. It's a luxury as Giants fans to be able to say we don't need a corner, because, wow, I think that's the first time in my life I've ever said that. But we do not need him at all. Mm-hmm. It makes no sense to trade for him. I mean, I'm all for making big splash moves when the opportunity is there and when it's right, but it's just not right.
And Nate saw when I tweeted it today as a joke, like literally right after, I want to say a minute after I tweeted, Dave Gettleman getting ready to fleece, the Dolphins GM. Yeah. I see actual serious tweets about it, and I was legit. Like, oh, y'all not joking. You guys actually want, listen, bro, Xavier's that guy, but like, we don't need him.
There's no reason for it.
Like, we don't need him. We can't afford him. There's so many reasons to not get him.
I mean, it just makes no sense. It's again, we're just trying to keep piling on and piling on and piling on, and it's the same thing I do with all my fantasy teams every year. I draft well, I make a few nice trades, and then I start going ham, and I start to absolutely destroy what I've built. And that's what Giants fans are trying to do right now. Sometimes you just got to know when to chill.
Okay, Diggy. You got it, bro. You got it.
To paraphrase the man himself, we didn't sign Adoree Jackson just to trade him.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's where I recognize you from, Insider. Yeah, I recognize him from the GOAT Philly Notion. I gotta have him back on. I mean, I had him on last month when he was straight capping, saying Jalen Hurts is going to be a top 10 QB and whatnot. Let me know if you think that Philly insider, because if you do, I might have to distance myself from all Philly fans.
Can't like get too close to that. It's infectious. It's
Yeah.
a contagious disease. Can't be too close. Yeah. What else? What else has been talked about on this Giant stream? Sorry.
So,
my brain
Blake
has been
Martinez on
grilled cheese sandwiches.
COVID, Reggie Ragland on non-football injury.
Not
That's
concerned.
kind of what went on with training camp today, to be honest. That's about it.
Sure. I mean, I'm not really concerned about it at all. Obviously, shit happens. It's training camp. We're past the hour mark by a solid 10 seconds. I'm good. That kind of shit happens when you're starting up training camp. It's the beginning of the NFL season. Blake Martinez, Reggie Ragland, they're going to come back. They're going to be fine. And then in terms of overreacting, Cadarius Toney came back way under the 10 days that it would have been if he wasn't vaccinated.
Didn't he come back literally one day after
Yeah,
or
like,
something? Yo.
come on, guys. We got to chill on this Cadarius Toney stuff. Like, it was, at first it was a little weird, then it was funny, then it was sad, and now it just has to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sake. Is this where we are as Giants fans? We've got this much built-up PTSD. This is what it is. It's our immediate reaction. Like, we drafted a guy, boom, he sucks.
I mean, was it last year or the year before where all of our receivers got injured in training camp?
I mean, what are we doing at this point? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing with ourselves at this point? Are we that desperate for something to complain about? Is that what Giants Nation has become? I hope not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cadarius Toney, even when we drafted him, we were aware that this isn't really, and you alluded to this isn't really a pick we're making for now. This isn't a pick we're making for this moment. This is a pick we're making because we understand it has the potential to pay off big in the long run. And it has the potential to make our lives a lot easier from a roster building standpoint when we have to make a decision on Sterling Shepard next year. Mm-hmm. So with Cadarius Toney, a guy who is, I wouldn't quite say a project, but let's say a renovation. With a guy like that, you're not so desperate for him to step onto the field and immediately produce. This isn't the Justin Jefferson situation where they lost one of the best receivers in the league. Boom, you got to get in here and start going. It's not like that. He has time. He has some coaching to get done. He's got some work to do. He's going to do it. It's going to be fine. If Joe Judge vouches for him and says nothing off the field is the problem, we love what he's bringing to practice, all those quotes about him. If Joe Judge vouches for him, that's good enough for me.
Shout out to Tudo Azori for the $5 super chat. He says, how do the Eagles players train and prepare for each game? Studying the Miranda rights by shutting up and remaining silent. I think Nick Sirianni probably provides them with some good food, though. I'm be honest with you, bro. I'm be honest with you. He definitely provides them with the deli meats. I'm going to keep it real. And I'm going to stop hating on the Eagles for a second because this man, Philly Insider, is getting on my good side, bro. Like, he ranked the NFC East slot corners. Holmes, Moreland, Maddox, Lewis, Anthony Brown. I'd agree with that.
I mean, it's not exactly a strong position in this division.
Yeah. Then he said Jalen isn't a top 10 QB. He ran a lot of 1-2 read at Bama and Oklahoma. Threw more as a Sooner, but simplified reads like Riley's signature shallow cross screen. Hurts is also bad on throw percentage, target percentage, in the same range as Drew Lock. Hurts show more potential and has intangibles like work ethic, but we have to find out how high his ceiling is. See, that's a realistic take, Philly Notion, wherever you are.
I mean, not even just the realism. That's a guy who knows what he's talking about.
Exactly.
First of all, like you clearly know that's a knowledgeable fan right there, which I absolutely respect. Second off, I mean, I have to address this. Nothing against you, Philly Insider, because clearly you're at least a respectable fan. The fact that we have to applaud someone for saying that Jalen Hurts isn't a top 10 quarterback, that's a problem. That's a problem. Like, come on, Philly. We got to chill, guys. And this ties in to what we've been saying all offseason. How are they so confident now? They are more confident in this garbage roster than they were when they were gearing up to win a Super Bowl. It makes no sense.
Yo, by the way, Philly Insider Podcast, man, listen, bro, drop your link. I'm definitely going to have to do a podcast with you. You seem like a very really good person, bro. You seem like that dude. He says, I like Hurts, but I talk to fans every day who thinks Hurts is an MVP. I don't know why, bro. Listen, I feel like this is all hate for Carson Wentz.
It must be.
That is transforming into, like, hype for Jalen. Like, they hate this man, Carson Wentz, so much that they want to see Jalen Hurts be the MVP. I feel like that's what it is, bro.
Man, I was talking with a friend of mine at class today. We were talking about colleges, where we're going to go. Yeah, what other schools are you applying to? I listed off a few, and Penn was one of them. And she's like, oh, you're going to go to Penn? No. No, I am not. I am not going anywhere near the city of Philadelphia.
But,
That
but
is just on the list because my
Saquon
parents
went to
wanted
Penn,
to
bro.
be.
Saquon went to Penn.
He went to Penn State.
Oh, so what are you talking about? UPenn?
UPenn. Yeah.
Okay.
And Saquon, that's acceptable. He did what he had to do to get his football career where it needed to go. He made it out. He made it to New York City. He escaped. Listen, all I hope is that he doesn't have radiation poisoning. But I am not going anywhere near that city. It is... keep it as far away as possible. Bobby.
Hey, that's
No.
what's up, though, Philly. Because that would be UPenn.
That's impressive. It's a really good school.
Hey, thank you,
Very
Rick.
good
You
school.
want to know what it is, bro? It's a Sherwin-Williams shirt, bro.
Got to rep the paint, bro.
Yeah, man. Listen, bro. I used to work in construction. This is not from that, by the way. This is just a coincidence, but it's actually Sherwin-Williams. Hey, man. Somehow, some way, it's a nice looking shirt, bro. It is what it is.
Hey, man. Get it how you can get it.
All right. So, what you trying to say with Loki here, bro?
Okay, so I have my fair share of gripes with Disney, and there have been a lot of times where they have tried new things that I thought were remarkably stupid, and that I thought were just bad ideas from the outset. We'll talk about that more in a minute. We're gonna table this.
I wish I was on my Streamlabs where I had the sound deck. I'd be going, bruh. I'd be going like all types of sounds, bro. You're not that guy. I added that, by the way, after last night. But
All right,
I don't know about that
hold on. We'll talk about the Loki thing in a second. Let's talk about this now. Okay. Is their D-line and O-line terrible? No. Is it old, injury-prone, and inconsistent? I am not gonna allow that. I'm not gonna agree with you that you have the best lines in the division. It's just not true. You have the most inconsistent lines in the division and the most injury-prone.
Shout out to PJ for the dollar super chat. Thank you so much, man. But yeah, listen. In 2019, when the Eagles were ranked as the best O-line in football, that was like the one single year every single one of those dudes were healthy. That's what it was. It's 2 years removed from that, so a line that had, guys that were aging is already older, and they faced more injuries. I just don't think they're going to be the same level as they were 2 years ago.
Yeah, Diggy, you want to talk about how good they are, you have to take into account the fact that they have never been able to stay on the field together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also, just even without the injuries, I would take Washington's D-line over Philly's any day of the week.
I'll say this, though, for sure. They definitely stole my guy, Landon Dickerson, that I wanted. So they got that.
Yeah, that's facts. Dickerson, he's a little raw, but he has good potential. That could be a good piece for them.
Mm-hmm.
Needs a little bit of seasoning still. All right. Anyway, are we gonna finish this up on the Philadelphia O-line D-line thing, or are we gonna move on? What's the call, Hub?
Let's
It do be your
let's
stream.
let's get to Loki. I feel like we gonna need to talk to Diggy about this on his channel at some point.
Yeah, and also what the last thing he did say that Dickerson's basically gonna redshirt for them. That's facts. That's pretty much exactly right. Anyway, though, moving on. So as I said before, I have had my fair share of problems with Disney as an entertainment company recently. I think they've done some incredibly stupid crap with a lot of really iconic characters, and I've had a lot of problems with it. And when they announced they were doing TV shows as the lead into this new phase with how they're going to introduce this new sort of era in Marvel, because I was one of the people who basically thought, all right, the Avengers are gone, the whole team's done, all these new characters, I don't care about them, that's it. I enjoyed the ride, I'm out. And when they announced they were doing TV shows, I thought this was going to be some dumbass gimmicky crap. I will not cap. I thought it was going to be awful. And then what happened was I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I loved every goddamn minute of it. And then I talked to a friend of mine who said, yes, that was really good. It is nothing compared to Loki. And I was a little skeptical because the concept of Loki, you have to admit, is kind of out there. It's a little strange, it's a little bizarre, but I binge watched that entire show over the last 24 hours. It is absolutely phenomenal. It is up there with some of the best Marvel content they've ever created.
Yeah. I completely agree. First of all, shout out to Tudo. Let me get the super chat here. He says, what do you call an ugly bird without feathers at a cage in the zoo? Eagles beaten by Giants. Listen, I don't think it'd be in the zoo, bro. It'd probably be in the morgue.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I'm enjoying this, it's getting to be a little bit of a stretch there too, though.
Nah, I love it, bro. Send me the joke book. I'm still asking for that. Peace out, Philly Insider Podcast. And I hope you guys stick with us through this Marvel convo here, because I agree with you. Loki is in my S tier of Marvel content, bro.
Absolutely.
Like, automatic. You said, and I agree with you, because I was telling my friend this, when the first episode came out, and I like briefly, so this was when I was down in Miami, and I like briefly saw it with my friend who was watching it. I caught bits and pieces. I was like, they're trying to explain some really complicated, like, ideas here, and I'm not sure if they could execute it well. It's kind of wonky right now. But then when I did watch it on my own, I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago, and I watched the whole thing, I was like, Jesus Christ, they did a really good job of explaining anything. They did a fantastic job of introducing stuff like the multiverses and multiple timelines, and they did an amazing job with Kang, who a lot of people at first didn't realize, you know, he wasn't actually Kang. He was just one of the variants. But like the way I like the way they explained that, how, you know, he was low-key kind of God, which kind of like made me think like he's technically the most powerful man in that entire universe, and he's just gonna get back there because that's how the timeline works. I'm gonna see how they handle that. But I love I love the way they did it, man. I love the way they did it. And I was real quick, I was just like you. I was not at all gonna check out any of the Disney TV shows. I didn't have any hope for them. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? The only thing I'm really looking forward to is Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which, by the way, Loki sets up basically.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
And Spider-Man Far From Home, which also deals with multiverse, because there was rumors for years that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield was going to make an appearance with multiverses and whatnot in the next Spider-Man movie. Those are really the only two things I was looking forward to. I was not looking forward to WandaVision, and I still haven't watched it because I still think it's probably the worst out of all three. Honest,
yeah, it definitely was the lowest of the three for me.
Yeah.
I watched a few episodes and it lost me. Pest, I talked to Pest about this, and he says, no, you got to watch past those. It picks up really hard. And like,
Pest told me the same thing, and I was just I'm not motivated to, bro.
I'm not in it.
That's another reason I wasn't going to watch them. I wasn't motivated. There was nothing.
Exactly.
I cannot, like, I can just ignore Falcon and the Winter Soldier and still be completely prepared for the next phase. Because all I need to know from Falcon and the Winter Soldier is that it was a story about, you know, Falcon kind of comes to terms with becoming Captain America and dealing with his own struggle.
Spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched it, I guess. It doesn't
matter.
That's
all I needed to know from that show.
Yeah.
WandaVision, there's a little bit more when it deals with stuff like, I guess, with sorcery and whatnot. But at the end, they duped us. Because I thought WandaVision was going to introduce the multiverse, but it didn't.
Did not, no.
The only show you needed to watch was Loki, because it's the only show that deals with time travel, the only show that deals with the multiverse, and the only show that really deals with things that's going to matter for the next phase of it.
And for me, just of the three, not only is it the most important, it's the best written.
It's the best by far. It's not even close.
It's not close. Like I
Loki is literally like just 6 movies. It's
pretty
6
much
movies. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I watched Falcon. So I watched WandaVision early, like when it was like just coming out. This was the beginning of the whole TV show thing, and I watched that, and I was like, no, I don't like this. And then Falcon and Winter Soldier. I binge watched that whole thing the same way I binge watched Loki. I binge watched that in like one day because like it was recommended to me, and I was like, yeah, sure, this looks cool. Even if it's not super deep, it'll be a fun action thing, you know. And the action sequences were excellent, and that blew me out of the water. I was really not expecting something with that level of writing, and it was really spectacularly done. And I was like, wow, that was really cool. And I saw Loki, and it's such a different concept, you know. It's so intangible compared to Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is very much dealing with it's here, it's real.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is just a real show, yeah. And
exactly.
Loki is dealing with. It's similar to how it's funny because I said the same thing. I was like, yo, I don't know how they about to close out Phase 4. How they about to close out Endgame and Infinity War, and they pulled it off flawlessly.
Yeah.
When they introduced Guardians of the Galaxy, everybody was like, how are they going to introduce these like C, D tier characters and make them popular? And they pull it off. Same thing with Loki. How are you going to introduce these concepts that make no type of sense with a character in Loki that people are not sure what his place is in this whole universe anymore? They made it work.
And to that end, honestly, one of the things that never ceases to impress me with Marvel is the fact that they cast beautifully. I do not remember the last time Marvel made a movie and didn't cast it completely right. I mean,
Iron Man 2 probably.
Yeah,
or 3.
That's a long while ago. That's
Thor: The Dark World.
At this point. Point being, everyone in this movie plays their part perfectly. I mean, I do you know the most information I learned about Loki before I actually watched it? From memes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how I learned that Lightning McQueen is in Loki, basically.
Yeah.
And I thought this was going to be a big fucking
He did
joke.
a really good.
He
I
did
was
an
surprised by
excellent
Owen
job.
Wilson.
I did not think Owen
Bro,
Wilson was going to do anything near
I'm
what he did.
surprised. I'm even more
Absolutely.
surprised that they didn't make that man say "wow" once.
Yeah, that's just a missed opportunity. But the point is, also before we keep going, season 2 there absolutely must be a jet ski. There must.
No, the thing with season 2 is that I'm like, what in the world is season 2 even gonna be? Because like they finished what they needed to do. It leads directly into another thing. It got me excited for a movie I wasn't excited for in Ant-Man and the Wasp, basically Ant-Man 3, because I didn't know Kang was gonna be in Ant-Man 3. I'm like,
sure.
After I learned that, I was like, what are you kidding me? I gotta watch that now.
I'll take you a step farther, because I am not nearly the comic book fan or the Marvel fan that I know you are. I'm not like Nerd Cage Live. I'm not in there with them. I don't talk that kind of stuff with them. I'm what you could call a casual Marvel fan, you know? And I honestly wasn't even going to watch Doctor Strange.
Really?
Doctor Strange 2. Like, I wasn't that into it. I was just like, all right, that saga is over. The Avengers are gone. I'm good. I've gotten my fill. My story has been resolved, you know? It tied up all those loose ends nicely, like you said, with Endgame. And I was like, all right, that's enough. I don't want to see this thing go downhill, because that's what I thought was going to happen with this new phase. I thought it was just all going to fall off the cliff, but it did not. And now what Loki did, which really impressed me, is it got me into Doctor Strange 2, and now I am so excited for when that eventually comes out. I am going to be one of the first people in the theater.
And I'll say this, and this is where I guess I will nerd out a little bit, because for me, I thought the next step in Marvel was gonna be Galactus. I was so convinced.
So did I.
That the step up from Thanos was going to be Galactus, because
what is the other step up, you know?
The thing is, Kang was actually rumored for years, like all the way back in 2016. I remember there being rumors about him being the next guy. The reason I didn't even see it as possible was because, once again, he was such a out there type of character, such an out there villain, and it deals with all this, multiverse timeline stuff that's really hard to explain. I was like, there's no way they're going to do that, because it's going to be too difficult to pull off, and so far they're pulling it off. But it's like, that's a really good step up from Thanos. You go from a guy that basically was looking to bring balance to one universe to a guy that's conquers all the universes, and then there's still a pathway to go even a step up from that to Galactus, because for those of you that don't know, Kang is a descendant of Reed Richards, so it's like we're a descendant of Reed's dad. So I forgot.
It's a long story.
He's related to Reed Richards, who is Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four.
Which I can't wait to see how they tie that shit in.
Well, it's going to be tied in because the man is related to the Fantastic Four, right? And I thought the next step was going to be immediately they're bringing the Fantastic Four in. But another nerd thing coming out, like, that is Marvel's A team. The Avengers were always the C team. A little bit of history here. The whole reason Marvel was they were bankrupt in like 2008. They put all their money into the building Marvel Studios, and Iron Man and the Avengers were C tier characters because
Jon Favreau saved Marvel.
They're A and B tier characters in the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men were owned by other properties, and Spider-Man, who was their most popular character, was owned by was owned by Sony. So all they had left were these C tier guys, and they make it work beautifully. I mean, of course, the Hulk was always an A tier guy as well, but other than him, the Avengers were C tier guys. Yeah. So I'm like, they're bringing home Marvel's first family. That's their nickname for a reason, the Fantastic Four. I thought they were going to do that immediately and have Galactus. They didn't, and it's still really good because there's still a pathway through it through Kang. Sure. So that's why I like it so much too.
I mean, you want to talk about all of the fine balancing acts that were done. Adios, Mike. Nice to see you, bro. You want to talk about the balancing act that was Loki and all of the different plot lines and storylines and elements they're balancing here. Let's talk about just bring it all simple, really just simplify the whole thing. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to make a time travel concept work? It is so difficult, and they're doing it like it's nothing.
Well, they made it work in Endgame.
Exactly. Marvel is just making it work now, which is incredibly impressive. And I think when you look at that, and you look at all these characters they're bringing in from out of nowhere, and all this other stuff that's happening, it's just really impressive to see that they're continuing this. I mean, you want to talk about the subversion of expectations. My expectations were subverted when they didn't go to shit. That's where my expectations were subverted. I mean, you hear these rumors.
For me, I thought they were going to slowly fade. I feel like you thought they were probably going to fall off immediately.
Pretty much,
I thought they were going to slowly fade, but obviously both of us
For
were
me,
wrong.
it was like you talked about the Avengers being C tier, whatever. Like I heard these rumors. Like I wasn't following it too closely. All I really knew was that they were bringing in even lower tier characters at that point. Like they were reaching down for characters no one had even heard of. And I was like, all right, this is gonna be rough. And I thought it was gonna just fade and it was gonna be bad. And I thought it was gonna be a flop. And it's not. They have pulled it off. It's just incredibly impressive to see them bringing in these new concepts to work with the old.
No, I agree with you. I don't really got much else. Well, I do have a lot more to say, but I really want to do either a stream on it or next time I hop on Nerd Cage. But I do have a lot more to say. I'm even willing to pop onto your channel and talk about it as well, man. But I'm gonna have to steer back to football because I got like 10 minutes left. But yeah, anything else you want to say, bro?
No, that was about it. I appreciate you letting me come on and talk this shit because obviously you are a sports channel. But I just finished watching that about 2 hours ago, and it was absolutely incredible, and I needed to talk about it with somebody.
For sure. And once again, if Loki was a movie, it's like already top 5 of the MCU movies, but it's not. But it's right up there with me for Winter Soldier, the first Avengers, Infinity War. Like it's right up there with those guys for me, man.
It's an instant classic to me.
All right, man. Thank you for calling in, bro. Have a good one.
Thanks for having me.
Next up, Harrison. I'm gonna pop you in real quick, bro. You look like you finally back in. What's up, man?
Hey, sorry about the delay, but
Nah, bro, it's all good. Listen, Harrison, bro, you never gotta apologize, bro. It's all good, man.
All right, I just have one question for you, and then I'm gonna pop off. But are you excited about the Mets trade deadline? Like, who do you see the Mets getting?
Unfortunately, I'm not a Mets fan, so you might actually have to talk to me about that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Is there anybody you're looking forward to for the Mets to get?
I want Scherzer and Story.
What does he bring to the team?
Pitching and offense.
Where are you guys right now?
First.
Really?
Yes.
In your conference, in your division, and
no league, like first in NL East.
Wow, I didn't know that. The Mets are out here doing things, huh? Diggy says the Max. Diggy says you guys will not get Max Scherzer. You can't have him.
Well, Diggy, I see why, because he's one of the best players, but I think we will find a way to get him after the postseason. Yes, I know Nerd Out Sports, but it would be nice to get him if we could.
Do you why does he say you won't get them? I know there's no cap space in baseball. Is it through a trade or something?
Yeah, it's the trade deadline. That's
so. What would you guys have to get up to get a player like him?
Probably give up one of our top prospects, which is good for us.
But so why would they say no? The team that you're trading from?
I don't know. It's just that I think Max Scherzer would be a great pitcher for us and can really help us, especially with Story, because Story if you don't know, Lindor is hurt, so we need a shortstop. So I think Lindor would even though he's hurt, we could use Story to cover him up. And I'm sorry, Diggy, that you're a Nationals fan, but
oh yeah, Diggy says it'd be like the Eagles trading a star to the Giants. That's why.
It'll be like, yeah, I agree with that.
And so you guys are like big rivals, so I guess maybe that's why the trade won't happen.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm just excited for the deadline. I watched training camp the other day. I was very excited. But here's another question. Do you like my profile photo?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is that you in a Gronk jersey?
Yeah.
Hey man, looking good. Maybe you hopefully you grow into it, but that's a pretty cool looking Gronk jersey right there.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, Hub, I do gotta go, but I want to say thanks for letting me on. Sorry about the delay. And everyone, please subscribe to him. He's the best Giants YouTuber I know. Bye guys.
Thank you, Harrison. Have a good one, man. Pleasure talking to you. Last but certainly not least, we got the bro Zion on here. What's up, man? How you doing?
Yo, what's Gucci, bro? Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man.
First off, please, everybody like this video. If you didn't, get that like button up, hit that sub button. If you didn't, Hub's always talking the realest facts, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't agree with him, I have to be honest, but most of the time I do, so let's get it.
I mean, I prefer when people don't. It makes for good conversation.
I feel you on that. I just wanted to say, I did want to get into Marvel, but I know this is a football stream, and I was going to actually...
We could get into it. We could get into it a little bit, because why not? Go ahead.
Say, bro, you got to watch WandaVision because it introduces Sword, and Sword is major in the next phases. Like, Sword is basically the universe's shield, right? So
Wasn't Sword introduced in Captain Marvel, or am I tripping?
it was absolutely at the end of Captain Marvel. Sword
Yeah.
was introduced, but WandaVision takes it to the next level. Plus, two, without spoiling it, Wanda Maximoff actually she levels up. She evolves, right?
Yeah.
In that show,
Does she get to where she's actually supposed to be, like how Doctor
she
Strange
gets
is
to
actually
where
is,
it
like
sets up.
both of them are supposed to get to like certain, I guess, quote unquote power levels
Yeah,
that they're currently not at.
exactly. She levels up, and it sets up the events that's gonna take place in multiverse of whatever it's called, the Doctor Strange movie. So just as Kang in the end of Loki sets up the events of Phase 4, Phase 4 is gonna wrap with Fantastic Four. They're gonna introduce the first family at the end of Phase 4, and the villain that you said earlier. I don't want to ruin anything for you guys that's been rating, but he's gonna make an appearance at some point. But you just gotta wait for him
It's gonna
because
be like
Kang.
another 10 years, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And if you think about it, like what you guys was talking about earlier, is like they didn't plan on this. And the fact that, when they made Iron Man and then made the Hulk and stuff, the earlier films, they didn't plan on it being the universe. And now that it actually is a universe and it actually is done right, they have
And
at least 20
they've slowly acquired back their pieces. They've slowly acquired back X-Men
Spider-Man,
and everybody. Yeah.
Fantastic Four, exactly. And plus two, when a lot of people of my friends read comic books growing up, and I was really never into it, but since I was around them, I got some stuff from them, and they're saying that, like, I'm like, so what's gonna happen now? We got Captain America and Iron Man out of this whole thing.
I'm
They're
like, bro,
well, we still
those
got
you gotta realize in the grand
exactly
scheme of
right.
things, those are not the guys, bro.
Those are not the guys. And when the X-Men comes involved and when the first family comes involved, that's gonna set up timelines for major events. So that's why I put in the comments, this is only the beginning, and like that's why
I'm still debating within myself if I really want to watch WandaVision, because once again, technically,
Get
Sword was already
get past the
introduced.
60s and the 50s episodes.
I know. The thing
Once
is,
you get to the
technically,
90s episodes and the 2000
bro,
episodes,
here's the
it
thing,
gets
though.
fun.
Technically, Sword was already introduced. The one thing I am interested in
Mhm.
is that level up. Nate briefed on it, touchy. He's like, he has some problems with how Marvel does certain characters. Like, I got a problem with how they doing the Hulk. I've been had a problem with how they did Thor. Thor is not nearly as powerful as he should be. The only movie where he's done justice, Loki is Ragnarok. That's the only movie where
I
he
love
looks
that
like
movie,
a god. Is the only movie where he looks close to his power level, and even then, it's not done properly. And then it was Wanda and Doctor Strange, who were nowhere close to as powerful as they should be. So now I'm interested because you said that.
Yeah, and then they I think they're signed on too, so they're locked in, right? So you're gonna see a character development, what I say, throughout the shows, and a lot of
and the future is there as well. Because I remember back when Tom Holland became Spider-Man, people were like, "Why is he so young?" Well, this is why they're hoping he could sign on for like the next 10 years and actually develop into Spider-Man with everything else that's gonna happen.
I think what was her name? I can't believe I'm forgetting her. Scarlett Johansson is one of the top female actors just based off of Marvel movies, right? Most highly exposed actor and stuff. So actress, I'm sorry. So that being said, I mean, like, we can get back to football.
Let's get back to it.
Sure. Hell yeah, I'm excited, bro. I mean, like, I know it's the Dallas Cowboys versus the Steelers, but we got football. It's preseason, It's in a couple
Isn't it
of
the
weeks.
Hall of Fame? When is the Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame game? I believe it's the 16th, if I'm correct. I can look it up for you real fast, though.
Well, that's a bit later than I expected, to be honest.
No, not 16th. It's sooner. I'm sorry, but it's not coming up. You would think it'll just be there. Do I have to type NFL?
August 5th is what Bobby Murphy is saying.
There you go.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds a bit sooner. That sounds that sounds
August
legit.
5th, and then
next Thursday. Wow.
Next Thursday, right? And then 3 weeks of football, and it's not 3 weeks of football, obviously 3 weeks of preseason football, but I'm just excited to see it because not to diss on Philly fans, because Philly fans been supporting my channel too, and I have some respectful fans that follow me, but I have to respect Philly. That guy who made that comment about Jalen Hurts is because a lot of these Philly fans thinking like that's the savior and he's going to win the division. But one thing I'm excited about is we actually have depth. When you compare rosters to all the rosters in this division, the New York Giants have depth, and I'm excited to see this training camp, the preseason, to kind of see who fills out the roster. And I know I asked you this many times, but I guess I'm going to ask you again since we're getting closer. Do you still have like your similar players in mind that you want to see succeed, or who you're most excited to watch coming up? It could be in training camp. It could be like a guy that's not a starter that you want to see make the roster. Who are you most excited to see?
So my answer is always gonna be I want to see what happens with the offensive line, but specifically excitement. That's not really excitement, right? I'm just looking out for them. Specifically excitement. I'm most excited to see Aziz, without a doubt. I'm so high on that. I've been high on that man for a minute. Other than Aziz, a guy that was in a very similar position to him last year. I'm excited to see McKinney. Hopefully, he doesn't break his foot. And that's the thing too. It's not like McKinney tore anything. He broke his foot. That's almost a better injury to have because once it heals, if it was a clean break, the bone is going to heal back stronger. So I'm really excited to see basically the two guys that should have gone first.
Hell yeah. All right, and I have another question for you. This is just off the top of my head to make content. How much Pro Bowls do you think our roster will produce this year?
Well, it
I know that's
technically
a tough
produced, I
question,
think,
but-
like 3 or 4 last year, even though I think only one got it, and it was Leo. No, or was it James Bradbury?
James Bradbury got it.
Did Leo?
I don't
get
think
it?
Leo made Leo. I don't think they made Leo. We was arguing. We was
Leonard
talking about that as
Williams,
fans. Like
disrespect,
Leonard Williams
bro.
never made but they give it to
Wow.
Evan Ingram. And outside of Giants fans, everybody's like, yeah, but he's a Pro Bowler. Like, no, he's not.
Listen, so, our top 3 guys on defense, I think, going to have Pro Bowl caliber years. I don't know if they're going to get it. So that's Leo, that's Blake, that's James. In addition to that, I could see Peppers possibly having a Pro Bowl caliber. I think he had a Pro Bowl caliber year last year. Maybe even Logan at his old age, but at that point, I think I'm getting too much. I don't want to list out every single dude on defense, but definitely our top 3 guys on defense.
Hell yeah. Do you rank Dexter Lawrence as a top 5 DT in the game?
No. Way too high. I love that.
Right.
Top 5 defense? No.
Yeah.
Way too high.
Do you think Dexter Lawrence could be a top 5 DT in the next 3 years? I know that's a random question.
Maybe. I'd say top 10, top 5. Top 5 is hard, bro.
Top 5 is hard, absolutely.
Peace out, Minty.
All right, Minty. That guy's great. If you guys don't sub to Minty, sub to Minty. He's always talking facts too. Do you think Galladay would make it in the top 15 receivers this year?
I do. Because I think he's already a top 20, and I think he's borderline top 15 right now. So I definitely think he can make it in. By the way, I put out a video today. Obviously, only members got access to it because it's early access, and it was stat predictions for the offensive players. Well, 3 specific offensive players on the Giants. It's coming out tomorrow for you guys at around 12 or 1. I haven't decided yet. It's basically Galladay, DJ, and Saquon. And disclaimer, I didn't even realize until 5 seconds ago. I made the video, and the stats I predicted were I was acting as if it was a 16-game season instead of a 17-game season. So add however much yardage and whatnot you want to add on to that. But the calculations I did in mind were literally for a 16-game season, so that's on me. But yeah.
All right, and I'll probably leave it at this. What is your worst we can do this season in record-wise, and then what do you think our best this season we can do in record-wise?
So our worst, I'd say, what it was this year. I think our worst is 6 wins, and I think our best is 11 wins.
Hell yeah. If Daniel Jones, I said I was going to leave it at that, but then I thought of another
Shout out to Joseph.
Let's get it, Joseph. If Daniel Jones underperforms this season, do we try to trade, or do we get another quarterback, or do you want to ride with him?
If Daniel Jones underperforms, I think the organization has made it clear that they're definitely gonna look into moving on from him. I think it's been made clear.
But do you want to move on? Because me personally, like,
underperform, bro. How much are we talking?
Underperform. So say like Daniel Jones flat out fails and like has like say like 12 touchdowns and 15 interceptions and really not seeing things right, really making bad calls. And I'm not talking about interceptions off of picks, off of tips or anything like that. I'm talking just straight judgment calls,
But that's not underperforming, bro. That's just having a bad season.
Having the bad season.
Yeah, if he has a season like that, I think I'm definitely looking into, another option because that's just a bad, potentially terrible.
That's just a bad season.
Yeah.
Right. But then if he has a season where like you see progress, but not to the level where.
If he has a season basically where it's like last year, where the man has progress on the field, but I'm not seeing anything production wise, it's gonna be really, really hard to make a decision on him.
I'm in the boat where like I think we're in a similar boat. I think I'm in the boat where like if he shows progress, it doesn't have to reflect stat wise, but if there's shown a little bit of progress, like if he doesn't need to take a giant.
I'm gonna ask you this, Zion. With what you're saying, how many wins do we have with a performance?
Oh, but that's been like, I would say, like, even if he won 6 games, but we've seen the improvement in his game. And
Oh
even
no!
like,
If we won, I'm gonna just let it be known right now. If we win 6
you
games,
want him out. You're
no,
done
I
with
don't
him?
want him out.
Okay,
He's
okay.
gone.
The
It's not in my
organization is
hands.
gone. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
gone, bro.
You
If we
feel
win
like if
6
he
games.
goes, see, I think Gettleman's gone. But what if it's 6 games? But like,
And real quick, I
Jones
want to say,
playing-
because what you're saying right now is reflective of a comment Diggy made earlier. I'm not sure if he's still in here. He
Mm-hmm.
says it's also a prove a year for Judge, because if Judge has a bad season or just a season like last year where we're around 6 games, the
Mhm.
fans are going to get on him as well. So you don't want to
True.
see Judge regress.
True. And
So it's yeah.
I honestly, at our worst, it's probably similar, but I got us winning 10-12, hopefully, and I'm hopefully that it gels. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I don't want to talk neg. Let's end it on a good note. Let's end my calling on a good note. I want to see a good year. We have the roster to do it, and it's a team game. So hopefully everybody performs, everybody does their job, and if everybody does their job, who knows? We might be in the
I'm
playoffs this
feeling
year.
this
You know
right
what I'm
here.
saying?
Going back to what you were saying, if we got 6 wins,
Everyone's
Jones
gone.
ain't,
Yeah.
Jones isn't the only person gone, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna make a scenario and I thought about it and you stopped me, so thank you for stopping
Yeah.
me. But I think I would want him gone too. So I think that's a perfect point. But yeah, I'm just excited for the season, man. I really had nothing to talk about. I just wanted to come and show my support. I would love to bring you on Reconnected. That's my second channel. Sorry for the plug. We can talk movies or something or anything like that.
For sure. I think I was on
Hell
there
yeah.
for the first episode,
was.
which was paranormal. What's the next theme?
Absolutely. Probably movies. That'll be a perfect theme. I kind of delayed the podcast 2 weeks. I'm doing some other stuff in my real life, and not like YouTube's fake. I came out wrong in my personal life. That's a better way to put it. I love the YouTube family. You guys opened me open arms since I rejoined, and I just want to thank you personally. Like, a lot of the times you have medium to bigger channels that don't even want to give you the light of day, and you always are welcome, and anybody can always call in, and you don't judge people based on their view count or anything like that. So I just want to say, as a smaller channel, I respect that, bro, and you give shout outs and everything like that, and all the mods help out too. Like, thank you chat, thank you mods, and then I'm probably just gonna end it there. I respect you, man, and keep on doing what you're doing.
Nah, thank you so much, man. I said all the time, I can't do it without you guys. If nobody's looking at my stuff, my channel doesn't exist. And I know where you're coming from on the small channel thing, bro. I was a small channel 2 years ago. I've been on YouTube since 2019. People only know me from last year because, COVID. COVID kind of blessed my channel because everybody was home and they had nothing to look at. So that's how I got in like the algorithm. But I was a small channel for the longest time. And if I didn't get help from bigger channels, you know what I'm saying, I would have never have reached the audience that I'm reaching right now. So, you know what I'm saying? I completely get what you're coming from, man. But you guys make it work. The Giants community on YouTube is a great one in general, and you guys are amazing, man.
Pat yourself on the back though, because like you do get credit for you deserve credit for the grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not gonna get into your personal life, but I know you have a full schedule and you still take the time to consistent upload, and that's why I believe I subbed, and that's why everybody subs here, because not only are you talking facts, but you take the time to make sure that we have our videos to watch, and that really means a lot to us, especially in the off season.
James, speaking of those skits, the whole reason I haven't been making any, bro, is because it was Zion. I haven't had the time. Yo, the skits are the shortest video I make, but they're some of the longest to put together and edit. And it's a skit, so I write scripts for them. Nice. I'm not that much of a creative guy where I could just do it on the spot. I kind of have to plan it out. And it is going to come back soon because it's literally been like 3 months since my last one. But don't worry about it. They're going to come back. They're definitely going to be back by the time the season comes around. But don't worry about it. Those are coming back. You know what I'm saying? I just need to, actually have time for them.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, man, Zion, thank you for calling in, man.
Thank you,
have a great one, bro.
You too, man. For sure.
And shout out to Diggy in here as well. He's another person I know that be on that grind as well, man. All of us are, to be honest. But shout out to you guys in the chat. You guys were amazing. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to another episode. I love having you guys call in. Hopefully we got a couple of new faces next week, because I'm seeing a couple of new faces in the chat right now. We'll see how it goes. But shout out to everybody in here. Thank you guys so much. That's it for now, and I'm out.